They did not call him great because he wore a crown. They called him great because even without it, he would still be a king. Here is the story of how a kingdom betrayed their own king and made him lose his throne, and things began to fall apart. Green lands of Igboland, where drums echoed at dusk and red earth met forests, King Ezeobi ruled Umuafo with wisdom, strength, and deep respect from his. Ezeobi was not born a king. Through courage and fairness, he earned trust. His reign brought peace and prosperity. But beyond Umuafo's peace, Obidike watched. Ambitious and patient, he envied Ezeobi's influence. He knew brute force would fail, so he chose deception instead of.
I am Nengtemtilim, and I beg you, my king, please grant me refuges within the palace walls of Umuafo.
Ezeobi showed compassion. He allowed her to stay as a servant. A simple decision, unnoticed at the time, quietly opened the door to a future disaster. Ezeobi welcomed Kemdilim and allowed her a place in his palace. Unknown to him, she was a disaster. Kemdilim observed everything. Silent and patient, she studied routines, relationships, and weaknesses. She spoke little, but her mind worked constantly. She began with whispers, soft questions, subtle doubts. Her words seemed harmless, yet they lingered, slowly shaping suspicion among servants and trusted. Rumors spread like smoke. People whispered about secrets, strange rituals, and hidden darkness. Fear began replacing trust, though no one could prove any of it. Then came the darkest lie. Ezeobi performed rituals for power. The accusation was horrifying. Though unproven, fear made it. The kingdom shifted. Allies grew distant. Servants avoided him. Every action became suspicious. Ezeobi felt the change but could not yet see. When Obidike attacked, resistance collapsed. Gates opened from within. Betrayed by his own people, Ezeobi fought, confused, as those he protected turned again. When Obidike attacked, resistance collapsed. Gates opened from within. Betrayed by his own people, Ezeobi fought. Obidike spared him, but only to humiliate him. The king became a slave, fetching water, cleaning, living under watchful eyes of those who once honored. Lolo Achalugo was taken far away, placed among strangers, stripped of title, yet never stripped of dignity or quiet authority. Em also suffered. She was held with other maids, closely guarded and bound in chains. Lolo Ifunanya was kept under strict watch. She was the first wife of King Ezeobi, her thoughts monitored, her influence feared by Obidike. Meanwhile, at Obidike's village, Umuaja has suddenly become the richest, while their own land now empty and impoverished. Obidike now exploited the whole people of Umuafo and took all they produced and enriched himself more. The people of Umuafo became more empty and poorer than the ways. Ezeobi remembered a case that once defined his reign, a dispute over farmland that nearly divided Umuafo completely. Two men stood against each other, Okeke, wealthy and respected, and Chinonso, a young farmer holding tightly to his inheritance. Okeke claimed ancestral ownership, insisting Chinonso's father only farmed temporarily. Chinonso argued the land was rightfully his inheritance. When the case reached Ezeobi, the entire village gathered, waiting to see whether justice or influence would decide the outcome. Ezeobi listened quietly, without interruption. His silence was deliberate, allowing every voice to be heard before judgment. This land belongs to me. I inherited this land from my ancestors. This land is my rightful inheritance. Elders spoke first, recounting conflicting histories. Some supported Okeke, others defended Chinonso. King Ezeobi walked slowly, observing ridges, crops, and ancient boundary signs, reading the land as if it held forgotten texts. The king turning to Okeke, he asked about boundary markers. Okeke hesitated before pointing, his certainty weakened under quiet scrutiny. Chinonso stepped forward confidently, identifying stones, trees, and paths, speaking with familiarity shaped by years of care and memory. An elder finally revealed truth. The land had been gifted, not borrowed. A forgotten act of gratitude resurfaced before everyone. Ezeobi ruled justly. The land belonged to Chinonso. He reminded all truth outweighs influence. and justice must stand above person. Everyone rejoiced and cheered as Ezeobi ruled justly. Meanwhile, back inside the captivity,
Ada Umwafo had been deceived, and the misspirited lady who brought these lies into our land had vanished.
the gods who created the land and its inhabitants defend me and restore my throne.
Ada Umwafo had been deceived, and the mystery lady who brought these lies into our land had vanished. Oluchi Umwafo, make King Ezeobi lost his throne and now his slave.
Peter, our Mwafo is broke, as they says, and captured by stranger. Our good King Ezeobi accused falsely. Kemdelim vanished without a trace, but doubt slowly returned. No missing children, no proof, only stories. The cracks in the lies began to show. After the rumors spread like floods, they stormed Obidike house and demanded to see King Ezeobi. Ezeobi looked at them quietly. His words came without anger, only truth shaped by understanding and reflection. If you had questioned earlier, this day may not exist. But if you question now, then something has been gained. Sammi Agabanze, the great warrior of our land. Tell him to come get me out of here.
Nze is one of the most powerful warrior in Umwafo. He lives away from Umwafo.
Nze heard what happened to Ezeobi and he came for the rescue of his king. But he came with a company. When Obidike saw Agabanze coming, fear grips him and he tried to flee, but was captured and arrested. Agabanze went to his king and removed the chains in his hands and that on his wives also. And Umwafo jubilated. King Ezeobi gave a decree that Obidike be chained and banished to wild forest. Obidike was taken away in chains and banished from the two villages and taken into the wild forest. No matter how long deception lasts, truth will eventually surface. Umwafo were misled, but reality caught up and justice followed. Thanks for watching. If you like stories by Gupem, kindly like, subscribe, and share. See you in next story. The whole kingdom rejoiced. In drums, celebrated King Ezeobi returned with his wives, and Umwafo was restored and everyone was happy. Today is a remarkable day for every one of us in Umwafo. I pray that all this produce yield more bountiful harvests, and I bless every one of you.